But one thing is, you have volunteered to testify at the trial, correct?
Not as of yet. Actually, I was subpoenaed.
Okay.
So my attorneys worked something out. So I believe when the time is right, I'm going to discuss it with my attorneys.
But you're willing to?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely, I am. It's many, many years ago, I posted some information that was, basically trying to save my life. And thank goodness to my ex, the wonderful Kim Porter, the late Kim Porter, who, kind of warned me all along the way to, just kind of watch your back, so on and so forth. And I didn't understand why.
Because of Diddy.
Al B. Sure is stepping back into the spotlight. And this time, he's ready to talk everything he knows about Diddy. And let's be real, when it comes to Al, one thing's for sure, he's never switched up his story, not once. The word on the street is that Al is set to testify in Diddy's trial, and trust, it's about to get messy. If he repeats the things he's been saying for years, that could seriously shake up Diddy's public image. This ain't just some side talk. His whole character is being put on blast in court. But wait, there's more. Al's not just revisiting old beef. He's also dropping new details about the late Kim Porter.
It's been quite a journey, and as I said, even as it relates to writing the book, I went through many, almost, more than a decade of being scrutinized and clowned by law enforcement, them telling me, you need some help. Sex trafficking, really? What's wrong with you? No way, but not realizing that they were also working for the situation.
Things go way back between them. Before Kim ever got with Diddy, she was actually with Al B. Sure. Not only did they have Quincy together, but Kim also once confirmed that she was the inspiration behind AL's classic track, Forever My Lady. Yep, that one. And here's the wild part. L's now saying they were actually married. He brought this up during an interview with Fox Soul where he revealed, "Every time I post." We'll get into what he said next real soon. This might change everything. Al B. Sure didn't hold back in that interview. He straight up said, "I'm a grandfather now. I'm not chasing clout or trying to rack up likes. That's never been my thing." But what really turned heads? He casually dropped, "I posted something the other day about my ex-wife. Yeah, I said it, my ex-wife Kimberly." That's right, Al called Kim Porter his ex-wife, and he made it clear that most people didn't know because they kept that part private. "We never talked about being married," he admitted. "We just didn't speak on it." Al said he still honors Kim from time to time with tributes, showing there's still deep respect between them. Even after they split, they stayed on good terms. But here's where it gets dark. Al has never shied away from saying that something wasn't right about Kim's passing. He's been loud about it. Remember when Kim's so-called diary made headlines? The one that allegedly exposed Diddy's dark secrets?
So do you think specifically then that Sean Diddy Combs or people affiliated with him did something to you that caused you to have multi-organ failure?
I believe this to be the case, yes.
As soon as that dropped, Al jumped on Instagram with his own reaction. He posted a screenshot of a headline that read, "Diddy's late ex Kim Porter revealed his twisted secrets." And in his caption, he simply wrote, 2009 through 2018. What was he hinting at? People were quick to say Al B. Sure had lost it, calling him crazy and telling him to sit down when he repeated verbatim what he says happened around the time Kim Porter passed. According to Al, law enforcement straight up ignored him when he shared what Kim had desperately told him before her death. She had even warned him to watch his back. That's serious. But instead of taking him seriously, folks were saying things like, "Someone get Al some medical help, he's lost his mind." But Al's not backing down, not even close. Fast forward to March 2024, and he came out swinging again, this time dropping a bombshell that had people talking. He hinted that Diddy may have had something to do with the coma he fell into back in 2022. That's not a light accusation. And on top of that, he revealed he's working on a documentary that's going to shock the world. What's he really sitting on? Truth is, Al's been sounding the alarm for years. Back in November 2021, he claimed that right before Kim died, she was running from someone or something. He even told her to contact the FBI. Then, not long after he made that post, it disappeared. What's really going on? Al later went back and edited the caption. Yep, the one where he originally told Kim to contact the FBI. and swapped it out with something way more subtle. He erased the FBI mention and claimed Kim had just been running a marathon. Seriously? That's a wild switch up. But it didn't stop there. Al also shared an emotional post remembering the exact moment he found out Kim had passed. He wrote, "I just found this footage from the morning I learned about Lady KPSIK hashtag Kim Porter's death and how it ripped the soul from my physical body." You could feel the pain in his words. And then he made a bold statement. Al said with full conviction, hashtag Kimberly didn't just check out all of a sudden over pneumonia. That's some BS. He knew that line would stir things up and even admitted, "This is where I get in trouble." But the most intense part? Al tagged Diddy directly in that same post. He wanted Diddy to see it. He added, "We just celebrated our son at Quincy's New Deal and Christmas special with at Netflix, and she was in fantastic health, laughing, vibing, watching me and at Diddy's mutual exchange at the theater. And now, Al's still standing 10 toes down, repeating the same claims louder than ever." Al B. sure just dropped another bomb. He's releasing a tell-all memoir this fall called Do You Believe Me? Now. And trust, it's not just some basic autobiography. Al says he's spilling everything. His experiences, his truth, and the real deal about his history with Diddy. He doesn't hold back either. Al claims that Diddy and his inner circle might have had something to do with his terrifying health scare, the one that nearly took him out with multi-organ failure. On top of that, he says there was an actual bounty on his head. According to Al, once he started speaking out, he ran into serious pushback, and it wasn't just online drama. He's talking about real-life danger. Al also revealed that he's been subpoenaed in connection to Diddy's ongoing legal mess, and he's ready to take the stand. He made it clear, he's not chasing clout or money. He just wants to live his truth, raw and unfiltered. And here's the thing, some details surrounding Kim Porter's death still don't add up, like the reports of blood on her pillowcases and a faint blood trail on the bedroom floor that supposedly led to the bathroom. How is that still not explained? According to reports, Kim Porter wasn't found unresponsive in bed like folks originally claimed. She was discovered on the bathroom floor. So if anyone says she was found in bed, that means somebody moved her body, strategically. Let that sink in. And there's more. The original coroner who did Kim's first autopsy apparently suspected foul play. Why? Because of the high level of a certain toxin found in her system. It wasn't something you just brush off. That raised serious questions right from the jump. Then there's this. Kim's final phone call was allegedly to 911 at 2:43 a.m., but she wasn't found until 11 a.m. the next day. That's a huge gap of time. What happened in between? Why did it take hours for someone to find her? Gets even deeper. There were reports that Kim's family had started looking into legal action. They were getting lawyers involved and reportedly gathering evidence to hit Diddy with a wrongful death lawsuit. They believed they had physical proof to back it all up. So when Al B. Sure says something's not right, he's not guessing. He knows what he's talking about. And here's a creepy detail. Nearly everyone who worked closely with Diddy back when Kim was alive, they're gone. All of them, except Al. Kim had been there from the very beginning too. Back when she worked as Andre Harrell's personal assistant at Uptown Records. She wasn't just an employee, she was loyal. And now she's gone too. Something's off. Heavy. D is gone. Andre Harrell is gone. The only two still standing from that old circle? Diddy and Al B. Sure. And let's not forget, Al barely made it. His health took a nosedive, and many believe it wasn't by chance. Things get way more suspicious when you look at the pattern. Heavy D was found face down. His cause of death ruled as a heart attack. Andre Harrell, also a heart attack. Kim Porter, they say pneumonia took her out. All natural causes, or something else going on behind the scenes. And here's the chilling part. Every single one of them was reportedly working on some kind of tell-all before they died. Andre Harrell had a book in progress. Heavy D was writing one too. Al was deep into a documentary before slipping into a coma. And Kim? She was also said to be writing a book. Now, there was a book that dropped under Kim's name, but people couldn't verify its source. The real one? That was supposed to be explosive. It allegedly exposed how Kim tried to protect Al B. Sure by warning him to steer clear of Diddy. telling him not to show up at certain places because she knew exactly what Diddy could do. Even more disturbing, Kim reportedly planned to speak out about how Diddy mistreated her. Claims of physical abuse, manipulation, and total isolation. She supposedly wrote about how Diddy had her using certain items to please him while she cried alone afterward. How her phone lines were tapped, her home wired, and how Diddy had people spying on her 24/7. She even wanted to reveal how he pushed for full custody of the twins. That book had come out, it would have blown everything wide open. Allegedly, Kim had one major line in the sand. If Diddy ever tried to take her kids away, she was going to expose everything. And not just his secrets with her. This ran way deeper. Her real book, the one people say never saw the light of day, was reportedly packed with bombshells. One of the biggest claims? That both the East and West Coast camps had a fake truce just to get rid of Tupac and Biggie, all to gain control of their music masters. Yup, word is, Pac and Biggie were planning to team up and go against both Bad Boy and Death Row to claim their rights back. True, that would have changed music history. But Kim's book also allegedly had some very personal tea. It was set to reveal Diddy's hidden relationships with other men, allegedly including young artists he mentored like Usher. That's what was said. Allegedly, of course. Now here's where it gets messy. That unofficial book that surfaced? It didn't just point fingers at Diddy. It threw shade at Al B. Sure too. One part claims Kim witnessed Diddy and Al in a private moment that shook her to the core. She was reportedly so disturbed. She ran out the room, crossed the street, and said she had to go to China just to get away from what she saw. Kim's alleged words, not mine. The layers to this story just keep getting crazier. I remember him saying, "It's still weird seeing you with my friend, but you're happy, so I'm happy for you guys." Sean responded, "Thanks, man. Me and you, we've shared so much." Al nodded and said, "Coolie word." Then things took a strange, tense turn. Sean suddenly said, "We've all been together sexually, but not together." The whole room went quiet. I was caught off guard, confused. So I asked, "What do you mean by all together?" Al started shifting in his seat, clearly uncomfortable, but Sean didn't miss a beat. "You know how we sometimes invite other people into the bedroom?" My heart dropped. "What?" I looked at Al. "This is my son's father, say something." And Al? What he said left me stunned. "I don't know, it could be kind of hot. I miss you in that way." I couldn't believe Sean had gone there, but at the same time, deep down, I still cared. This situation was wild, maybe even tempting, but my mind was spinning. How would this affect my relationship? And more importantly, how would it affect Quincy? So I asked, "Are you both even sure about this?" The thought of what they were suggesting had my head swirling. It was shocking, messy, complicated. And just when I thought things couldn't get any more intense, they did. Never in a million years could I have imagined how deep this drama would go. Now, let's clear something up real quick. Al B. Sure has strongly denied the wild claims in that so-called memoir. He even threatened legal action, saying he'd sue for being dragged into it. But forget all that for a second. Let's focus on what he has actually said about Kim. Some folks out here say they don't fully trust Al. They claim he's always had a selfish vibe about him. And yeah, people didn't forget. Right after Quincy posted that heartfelt message about how all the conspiracy talk around Kim's death was hurting him and his siblings, Al was still out here posting cryptic and bizarre content. It didn't sit right with a lot of people. Even when addressing that alleged memoir, Al seemed more upset about his own name being included than the disturbing things said about Kim. That rubbed folks the wrong way. He came off as more focused on his reputation than the real issues being exposed. And to top it all off, he publicly questioned why Quincy still follows the man accused of hurting his mother. That hit deep. And not everyone agreed with how he handled it. So yeah, people are divided about Al. Some say he's in it for himself. Others believe he's holding on to powerful truths. But no matter where you stand, one thing's for sure, we're all watching closely to see what he says when he takes that stand. Will he go deeper into what really happened to Kim? Will he reveal what happened to him? Whatever comes out, you know it's about to be explosive.